but in the District of Columbia, what we're doing is certainly different. We are doing marijuana legalization, first of its kind, intentionally in a racial justice context. This is why, you know, issues of race and self-determination and restorative justice are at the forefront of this initiative. This is why, you know, the messaging and the campaign literature reflects that sort of messaging, and ultimately what, as Seema talked about, is what we want to ultimately do is to be able to craft legislation in a tax and regulate sort of framework that reflects racial justice. So as we were talking about, you know, collective ownership, self-determination, being able to reinvest resources into the communities that have been harmed by the policies of prohibition, being able to take the people who have been on the street corner and dealing, and being able to allow them to participate in the industry. In Colorado and Washington, for example, they have explicit provisions which prohibit those people from getting out. And so, you know, Michelle Alexander made a comment about the legalization of marijuana in Colorado, and she said that, you know, for years black people have been selling marijuana, and now that we're legalizing it, it's all the white people who are getting rich. And what we don't want to have happen is a situation like that play out in Washington, D.C. And so that's why we're doing this. Yes, it falls within the national trend, but it is certainly a first of its kind, and hopefully it will be a model for other communities of color around the country to be able to go out and replicate this, so that, you know, we can really be intentional about restoring justice and restoring the harms that have been caused by the war on drugs.
Really quickly, and just to add on to what Malik said, one thing that's different about the district is that we are an urban environment. In places like Washington State and Colorado, there are portions of the state which are available, large tracts of land where people can cultivate marijuana, and so you have these very large-scale industries that are coming in and becoming extremely wealthy. What's different is that in DC, we have to imagine a scenario where communities that are packed into impoverished neighborhoods can perhaps have the opportunity to actually own a piece of this wealth that's being created. And so in that way, that's never been done before, and it's not a trend. Just like marijuana decriminalization with explicit racial justice language in the policy and the law itself, this will be a first, and hopefully will influence similarly situated cities like Baltimore and New York City and Philadelphia.